How's it going, everybody, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Nintendo 3DS. You might have noticed, I introduced this as Kirby's Epic Yarn and not Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. For some reason, Nintendo likes adding little extra things to video game titles that are enhanced ports or remakes or whatever on the 3DS from previous consoles. However, except for Captain Toad. However, I'm just gonna call this Kirby's Epic Yarn because, honestly, the extra epicness isn't really that much of a big deal, in my opinion, but I'll get into more of that as the series progresses. Anyway, so this game is made by Goodfeel, who, for some reason, was responsible for educational games. I say that as if that's a bad thing. The youth need to be educated, but Goodfeel was known for educational games, really, before they ended up with Wario's Shake It on the Wii, and then they became a pretty handy developer for Nintendo with Kirby's Epic Yarn and even Yoshi's Woolly World and Crafted World, so it's a pretty neat little tidbit there about Goodfeel. Anyway, you might have noticed that Kirby was wearing some hats on the introduction screen there, and I actually can cycle through as plenty of them right now by pressing A to begin, and then going back to the title screen, and you can also see Kirby do a lot of different entrances. And also you might notice Kirby looks a little bit different. The yarn part of Kirby's Epic Yarn is pretty much the main focus of this game, because this is an entirely different game within the Kirby series, and again, I'll get into more of that as the series progresses. But you also might notice a little fiendish devil bat on the title screen in addition to Kirby and the various hats that Kirby has been wearing. So Epic Yarn has changed things up a little bit on the 3DS compared to the Wii version, and I'll get into those differences later. For now though, how about we select any of these three files that are currently available to me, and let's just get started. So let's play file 1. And I'm not going to pay attention to the bottom screen yet within this series because there's actually some spoilers on the bottom screen that I don't really want to get into right now. So I'm just gonna select the story icon that's on the bottom screen that you currently can't see, and let's just get this thing started.
Welcome to Dreamland, a kingdom famous for peace and quiet. It's the perfect little land, if you like that sort of thing. Lately, there have been rumors of a caped sorcerer going around turning people into yarn. That's right, yarn. One day, Kirby saw his favorite food, a bright red tomato, on top of a bush. Down the hatch. But when Kirby tried to eat it, a caped sorcerer appeared. My name is... Hey, what are you doing? Stop that! No, that's my magic Metamato. Kirby gulped the Metamato right down. Just then, a white sock around the sorcerer's neck began to glow. Then it sucked Kirby up. This grass feels funny, Kirby thought. It feels like pants. And to Kirby's surprise, he saw that his entire body was made out of yarn. Then he saw a yarn monster chasing a blue yarn boy. Somebody help me! Kirby tried to swallow the monster up, but the air went right through his body. Kirby wondered what he should do. Suddenly, Kirby transformed into a car. He drove away with the boy and left the monster behind to eat his dust. Apparently, that strange Metamato gave Kirby the power to seamlessly transform into a car and who knows what else.
I gotta say, the cutscenes in this game are so adorable. But this game this game adorable in general. This game is adorable in general. Thanks for saving me. What's that? You say you're from another world? Wow, Welcome to Patchland. You just stick with me, and I'll show you the ropes. This is my castle, so feel free to look around here as much as you want. Alright, so we are in the Quilty Square, and, well, there's not really much we can do right now, so how about we just step into Patch Castle? And this is the first difference between the Wii version and the 3DS version. So, in the Wii version, you first enter a level, and you can select either 1-player or 2-player. I don't know if I'll be able to show off co-op in this series. I'm gonna try to, of course, but I'm not making any promises. However, on the 3DS version, instead, you have the option for normal mode or devilish mode. They basically added a hard mode to this game on the 3DS, and it's actually kind of cool. I guess that's why the extra is in there for the title in Extra Epic Yarn. In this challenging mode, you'll be hounded by devils as you make your way to the goal. Try to finish with as many life pieces as you can, collect a lot, and you'll unlock rewards. So normally, no, I will not be doing devilish mode, however. I will show it off, but I'm not going to play the entire game in devilish mode. So normally, and I'm going to hop into normal mode here just to get things started. Normally in Kirby's Epic Yarn, it's pretty babyish, if that makes any sense. You can't really die in this game, unlike other Kirby games. And, of course, you can probably tell, not just based off Kirby being made out of yarn, but this is a pretty different Kirby game in a lot of ways. So, there are no copy abilities in Kirby's Epic Yarn. However, the 3DS version did add replacements for copy abilities, essentially, although Kirby becoming a car when running is also basically a thing for copy abilities. Also, that enemy already came back, that's pretty funny. But anyway, even though this isn't like a normal Kirby game, there are some things we can do by pausing on the pause menu. We can see Kirby's controls, which you can pretty much see, or rather, in a normal Kirby game, this would be a place where it's like, oh, Kirby's a special pink boy who lives in Dreamland or something like that, but we get to see Kirby's moves here. We can use the Yarn Whip with B, we can press A to jump, and Kirby becomes a spoink with bouncing like a little trampoline. We can walk, of course, by pressing right on the D-pad or the circle pad on the 3DS. Dashing, of course, by holding the button or pressing it twice. We can crouch down with down. We can unravel an enemy, such as that poor Waddle Dee with B. We can roll up an enemy by holding B, as we've already seen, and B to throw, of course. Then we can use the wait feature, which is essentially a ground pound by pressing A and down. And last but not least, we can parachute by pressing A in mid-air and holding A. Anyway, so with all the controls out of the way, how about we get to Tadpole Transformation? Oh my god, the transformations of this game are so great. I'm gonna probably cute-gasm all the time in this series, but that's to be expected. This game is probably the cutest Kirby game of them all, just because it's made out of yarn and it's really, really great. Spear Waddle Dee! Hello, Spear Waddle Dee. I'm sorry, but I had to take your spear, and yes, you can take the spear and not the Waddle Dee. You can be a pacifist and you can leave the Waddle Dee alone. Anyway, if I unravel this, we get a good amount of gems, beads, whatever you want to call them. Probably beads is what they're officially known as well as a crystal star. Anyway, these treasure chests here will usually contain a neat collectible that you can use a little bit later on. First up here is the chandelier. This chandelier is very simple and very elegant. You can't go wrong here. Alright, there we go. So now, if we go in here, we can actually go between boundaries and we can pretty much go inside of a castle. It's actually really, really cool. Alright, if we go up here and go... Nope, nothing that way. I was mistaken. Alright, let's go ahead and parachute. Oh god, it looks so good. I love this game so much. I was considering doing, the Wii version instead of the 3DS version, but for those who don't know, the 3DS this year did cease production, so finally, Nintendo's probably last handheld system, at least for now, because of the Switch being a hybrid console, is finally done with production. I really want to get a new 2DS XL before the prices go really ridiculous, and in the event that new 2DS capture cards are once again sold through Loopy, rather for the first time by Loopy, but once again in general, then I would like to have a new 2DS XL just to have it. Anyway, this is the King's Throne, the next collectible. You'll feel like a king when you sit on this gold-plated throne. Alright, very nice. Right here is a little pendulum that we can swing on. You already saw me do that, though. This is, of course, like many first levels in games, this is where you learn the controls in case you didn't pause the menu. But I already showed that, so I don't really need to explain anything, even though I am anyway. And, of course, the final collectible is usually, actually probably always, a musical CD. In this case, the Patch Castle OST. This new music plays in Patch Castle, which we already heard, but it's still nice to have anyway, by itself. And at the end of each of these levels, we have a bell we can ring by pressing B and doing the pendulum on the bottom of the bell. And now, you already see that this is obviously pretty different as well, because there's a ranking system up above on the top of the screen. You can see a bead streak that's a rainbow. And you can see I have a bronze, a silver, but ultimately a gold ranking. Now, I'm not going to be trying to get gold ranking on every single level, that'd be too ridiculous. Only on some, though. I will clarify, some levels, gold is the goal. Let's just keep it at that. And you can see the crystal star has a 99 in front of it. That is your streak for not being hit by an enemy and losing any beads, I think. So that's all of the tutorial stuff out of the way, so how about I time this, and I timed that wrong, and go for the 5-star rank anyway! Let's see if I got it, I hope I did, yes I did! Oh wait. Oh, just barely went over to 3. Dang it, I thought I got a 5-star rank on my first ending, that would have been so great. And this character joins us at the very end of each of these celebrations, which is a really nice touch. And that's also who the second player would be if we were playing on the Wii version. Anyway, the clear screen, you can see your rank in full with a rainbow bead surrounding border. Our beads, and they are called beads, okay. I don't know why I called them gems earlier. Maybe because of Captain Toad was so recent. We got 808 beads, our streak was 99, and we got all 3 treasures, leaving our total at 1,207. Very nice.
Thanks for your help, the Blue Yarn Boy said. Not that I needed it. I'm Prince Fluff. Ever since Yin Yarn the Sorcerer ripped Patchland into 7 pieces, you just can't go anywhere without running into these horrible... But Fluff was interrupted when they were attacked by a huge 3-eyed blob of yarn. Ew, gross, stop it! But before the blob could eat Prince Fluff, Kirby transformed and smashed it to smithereens in a most spectacular fashion. Among the little blob bits, there was a shimmering piece of spiraling yarn. That's it. That's the magic yarn, Fluff exclaimed. This was what Prince Fluff had been looking for. Yin Yarn had stolen the magic yarn from Patchland. The yarn weaved its way into the fabric of the kingdom and stitched 2 pieces of Patchland together. What about the other pieces? I've got to find the rest of them. Kirby, always happy to help, decided to help his friend recover the missing pieces. And the two began their journey to stitch Patchland back together.
I'm very glad the power of cutscenes was able to put everything together, or at least the first world back into place, otherwise this would have been a very short series. Alright, so now we have access to the grassy land, which is awesome. We could return to the Patch Plaza if we wanted to, and then there's some mysterious options down here, but I'm more intrigued by that guy in front of these buildings. Prince of Fluff, what an unexpected surprise! Oh ho ho ho, who might your friend here be? Lord Kirby, you say? He is visiting us from another world, you say? How exciting! My name is Dom Wool, and it is my pleasure to make your acquaintance. Lord Kirby is helping you save our beloved Patchland. Oh, that's just wonderful. I am the manager of Quilty Court here. Please come inside for a moment. I insist. Welcome to your new home. Well, I suppose it's not much to look at just yet, but I would be honored to have one of Prince Fluff's guests staying here. A proper home must be properly furnished. Please accept this as a gift from me. Feel free to furnish your new place in whatever way you desire. We'll discuss the rent later. Go ahead and enjoy the space. If you have any questions, I'll be around. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear one of my other tenants walking by outside. Alright, so Kirby now has a home away from home, but this really isn't important. Basically, the furniture that we get in each of the levels, even though they're treasures, but whatever, the furniture we get from all these levels can be used to furnish places, including Kirby's pad. And there's a model room if I really wanted to show that off, which I guess I already am since I pressed R. And yes, we can go ahead and look at all the catalogs and stuff like that, but I think I'm just gonna go back to Kirby's bare pad for now, and I want to take a moment to properly show off Kirby's idle animation. So once you're sitting around for a while, not really moving, Kirby will do a couple of actions, including jumping rope, which is a little awkward considering he's made out of yarn and the jump rope's yarn, so anyway, and I'll also plop down afterward. But yeah, we don't really need to do anything with Kirby's pad, so we can just go ahead and leave right now. Alright, so that is basically it for Quilty Square for now, so how about we go ahead and make our way to Grassland. And now that we're in Grassland, we have a plethora of different doors waiting to be opened, but we can only access one for right now. So next time on Kirby's Epic Yarn, we will be heading into the first level of Grassland, known as Fountain Gardens. For now, though, thank you for watching, and until next time, catch ya later.